Hello and good evening. It's Siren Shadow back at you, and I would like to start off by saying to all of the other channels out there, happy Channelversary for all of you. Seems I'm not the only one that had a Channelversary on this particular day. But that brings me to the topic of today. I decided that for my Channelversary today that I would be doing a Q&A. Now, most of you know, if you've seen my Twitter or my Discord, that I was planning on doing a Q&A at some point. Well, some point when I actually stopped procrastinating about it. But anyways, a lot of you sent me some really good ideas for some really good questions to ask, so as my Channelversary was popping up, I decided, why not do it then? So, without any further delay, here's the Q&A. Question 1. Who is your inspiration for writing poetry? My inspiration for writing poetry, I don't necessarily know if I really had an inspiration for poetry, but I do know that I am a big fan of reading, and poetry is one of the subjects that I like to read about. Question 2. What do you hope to accomplish with your YouTube channel? I hope to probably do the same thing that most other voice actors / ASMR artists might do. Tell a story. Question 3. Favorite genre of movies or shows? Movies and shows, well, both are the same thing. I'm a big fan of fantasy and sci-fi stuff. Some of the different TV shows that I like to watch are Ghost Whisperer, Medium. There was one TV show at one point that I watched called Grimm, and of course I absolutely fell in love with Once Upon a Time when I first discovered it. Question 4. How would you have described yourself in your schoolyard years? Okay, that's an interesting question in itself. My schoolyard years, well, I can definitely say that my personality changed over the years. Back when I was in elementary school, I was probably more talkative than I am nowadays, but I think it changed pretty quickly around junior high, high school. I don't know. But I can definitely say that I was more talkative back then in elementary school. Question 5. Dark chocolate, yes or no? Well, it's chocolate for one thing, so yes, definitely. Honestly, I've heard a lot of people saying that dark chocolate's too bitter for them, and I can kind of understand it because dark chocolate is a little bitter, but I still like it anyways. Question 6. What sparked you doing this sort of thing? If by this sort of thing you mean my YouTube channel, then, I was in a bit of a tough time at one point, and listening to all of the different voice actors and ASMR artists out there kind of inspired me to take my own writing to the voice acting type of thing. Question 7. If you could be any height, what would you be? I don't know if I'd necessarily change the height that I am now, but I definitely would want to be a little taller, mostly because I'm kind of tired of being around people that know that they're tall and know that I'm short, and I get a lot of rot for it. Let's just say that. Question 8. Favorite celebrity? I don't necessarily know if I have a favorite celebrity. I know that there are a lot of different people that I like watching in movies or hearing about in the music world, but I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite celebrity. Question 9. What is your ideal job? I think my ideal job would be being a singer, or maybe some type of actress, or possibly being a writer. All three jobs are definitely tough, I know that, so they would definitely take a lot of work. Question 10. Have you had any near-death or scary experiences? Near-death experiences? No. Scary? Definitely. No, I'm not going to elaborate on it because, well, no offense and all, but I am not a particular fan of reliving those days. Question 11. Are you ever going to finish the Monster Neighbors series? If so, when? First off, guys, I'd like to apologize that I didn't finish the Monster Neighbors series, but, I had a lot of other different ideas that I wanted to work on, and they just came so quickly that I kind of forgot about it. But rest assured, the Monster Neighbor series is going to be picked up again. The only problem is, I'm just not sure when it's going to be picked up. Question 12. Have you been working on any new videos? I've been working on a ton of new ideas for new videos. Mostly I have my big project that I've been working on, the My Superhero series, for any of you guys that have actually listened to it. But I've also had a ton of other little projects that I've been working on. Most of the projects, they take a little bit to actually get done. But, well, let's just say things are going to be getting interesting at some point. Question 13. Who was your celebrity crush? I'll be honest, I don't know. I know I had a lot of different celebrity crushes, I guess you could say, back when I was younger. But as time went on, I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't particularly understand all of the different gossip sites and whatnot that follow the different celebrities. So, I don't know. I can definitely say that I've also had a lot of character crushes, I guess you could call them. So, it's just been interesting all around. But at the current moment, I don't have a celebrity crush. Question 14. What is your favorite animated show? I have a lot of different favorite animated shows. I don't honestly get to watch a lot of TV nowadays, but I can definitely say that I've had my favorites. In terms of, like, actual anime, I haven't watched a lot of anime. Now, before you go bombarding me in the comments section about me not watching anime, let me just point out something extremely important. I live under a rock. Question 15. Are you allergic to anything? I've been told that I'm allergic to dust mites and ragweed, as well as Bermuda grass. So pretty much just your typical allergies, I guess. But they get really bad around the spring, I think. I don't know for sure. All I know is that when they get really bad, I start coughing more. Question 16. Are you a morning person? Definitely not. I loathe getting out of bed in the mornings. But I have to anyways, mostly because my family insists upon it. Also, one cannot exactly spend the entire day in one's pajamas and in bed. Question 17. What are some of your hobbies? I could pretty much tell you all of my hobbies right off the bat. I like to read, I like to write, I like to listen to music and sing, and I also occasionally dance. Mostly when other people can't see me dancing. Question 18. Do you come from a big family or a little family? I come from a bigger family than I probably even realize. It seems like with every family reunion that I go to, I end up meeting or re-meeting some new distant family member that I'd never even heard about, or that I knew apparently when I was younger. So, it's a bit of an adventure all around with family. Question 19. Dogs, cats, or fish? None of the above, honestly. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick a fish. But if I can get away with it, I wouldn't have any of them at all. I'm not much of an animal person, admittedly. Sorry. Question 20. What's your best impression of a celebrity of your choosing? Holy shit, I'm sorry. I don't think it would be the best for me to go impersonating anybody. So, I'll spare you that attempt of, yeah. Let's just not. It'll probably be safer. Question 21. Is there a genre of fiction you'd like to see translated to ASMR? Honestly, I don't know. I've heard a lot of different stories in the ASMR / voice acting world, so I don't know. Question 22. What fictional character do you think would be great at ASMR? I can actually think of a lot of different characters that might be great at ASMR. Least of which would be in some of the different books that I've read. Again, I'll spare you that because then we'll probably be here all night. Question 23. Who were some of your heroes, in real life or fictional, as a kid? I think that my biggest heroes, mostly in real life, even nowadays, would be my parents. Because they've been there for me no matter what. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. Question 24. What's your favorite thing about yourself? I don't know. Honestly, I've been told that I can kind of be my own worst critic, but I've also been told that I have a patient demeanor when it comes to certain situations, and I'd like to think that I could be considered a good listener in a lot of other circumstances, but that's probably wishful thinking. Question 25. Favorite type of dinosaur? First, I'd like to state that the person that wrote this question deserves a lot of credit. I don't think that anybody would have expected that type of question to come up in this Q&A. Second of all, my favorite type of dinosaur, I'd probably have to say a pteranodon. Mostly because, well, they can fly, and while I am not exactly the best when it comes to heights, I kind of admire that trait about different animals, including dinosaurs. Question 26. What's the last book or series you've read, and what did you think about it? I've actually been reading a lot of different books nowadays, but I'd say that the last series that I've read would be the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. And the last book that I've read would be Cupid's Match by Lauren Pell Freeman. It was apparently a Wattpad book, and when I got a chance to actually read it, I was, well, amazed at what I read. Because, well, I don't want to give too much away about the book. I'd honestly recommend reading it if you're interested. But let's just say it involves one of my favorite Greek myths. Well, modernized anyways. So, it's always good when you get a chance to read something like that. At least in my opinion. Question 27. Can Heatwave physically burn himself? This question was actually asked by one of the biggest fans of the My Superhero series, and I'd like to say thank you for that question. Honestly, when I picture the character, I would say no. In fact, I think that he's one of the few people that can survive his own fires. Question 28. Why is the sky? I know this question was intended as a joke, but I just had to use it. It was funny. Honestly, I don't know why. I suppose I don't know. But I can definitely say it's an interesting question. Question 29. What's your favorite book or movie series? Okay, that's about like trying to tell me to point out a specific star in the sky. I have so many different favorite books and movies, it's not even funny. But if I tried to list any of them, we'd probably be here all day. So I can definitely say, without a doubt, that some of the different books that I've read, a lot of people of my generation have probably already read. So, question 30. Where would you like to live if you could live anywhere? I can actually think of a couple of different places that I'd like to live if I could. Um, but there are also some places that I would just probably like to visit. But in all actuality, I don't know if that will ever be a thing. Because, well, I've been where I've been for quite some time, and admittedly, it's a bit difficult to picture myself living anywhere else. So, but it's definitely a question to think about later on in the future. And with that, that brings us to the end of the Q&A. So, thank you all once again for those of you that sent me the questions, and I'd like to say again, congratulations to all of the other channels out there for y'all's Channelversary, and I hope that you all are enjoying your day. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe it. And if you have any suggestions of your own for future videos, feel free to comment or check the links in the description below for some of the places that you can type out your different suggestions. So, for all of you listening, I hope that you all stay true to yourselves and let your darkness shine bright. Good night.